Mary at the.meri.atelier, and today is Sunday, September the 19th, and we're going to do some art. I'm still working on finishing up my postcards here. I have eight owl postcards that I want to paint. I have some other things I want to do. Let me get situated here. How? I always feel a rush right before I come on, so coming on, I can relax. Let me have a drink of, I have diet zero sugar pop, and I have some tater tots. My brother made supper right when I was ready to stream. I told him not to do that. So I grabbed tater tots to munch on. I hope you're okay with that. Let me get out here to my channel over on my tablet. I also have this block. Now, this is that foam stamp material where you can make a stamp by impressing into it. Maybe we'll play with that first. And then you heat it up with the heat gun and it goes away. Get to my channel. Your channel. Got 5 of you out there. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rhonda. Popo. Hello, ladies. And I am working on those dolls. I don't know what I did with them right now. I'm working on those dolls. I want to get my dolls finished that I'm going to send out. Hi, Renee. Welcome. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let me see here. What I have one of those. I have my crochet hook. I have one of those embossing. I can never find it when I want it. Is it over here? No. Well, I'll use my crochet hook. Oh, here's one. I think Sharon Lombard sent me a couple of these. She sent me one that's yellow, too. That was the one I was looking for. Shall I zoom in? Oh, am I buffering? Am I buffering? No, I'm just buffering on my tablet. I'm not buffering up here. Is anybody else buffering? Let me zoom in. We'll just play with this foam stamp a little. Oh, I know what I'll do. I want to, let's get out my gnome book. I want to cut a gnome stencil. But let's do a gnome. Got to move Penelope around here. Let's do a gnome stamp here. Shall we just do it right off of the one on the cover? So you're supposed to be able to, don't know if it matters what side of this. Maybe this side. This, well, I think it's both the same. Maybe you're supposed to be able to impress a, maybe the crochet hook isn't the right thing. We'll see how this works. We'll just do a simple one first, because I've never used this stuff before. I never had the occasion, but it seems to me like it's cutting into it. Maybe the end of my brush. These are awfully thick for the end of a brush. The end of my crochet hook. I don't know if you guys can see it. You're envying my squirt? It's 0 sugar. 0 sugar. That makes my teeth happy. All right, we'll just do a quick little face here. Although I can't really see what I'm doing. We'll give him an eyebrow here. And an eyebrow there. And if I can't see it, it's very unlikely that you guys are seeing it, because I hardly see this where I'm drawing with this. We'll see what I get. It's like drawing blind. All right, he's got a mustache here. And a mustache here. And a lip. And then I'm going to make him with a long beard instead of a short one. And a body. His hands are behind his back. I don't know. We'll see. He's got an ear. If I could draw him out, but I guess I'm going to get ink on this anyway. I got this from Paint Girly and Lori Paint Girly, and Brenda D had won it in a giveaway, and she gifted it to me. Bless her heart. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, no, it wasn't Brenda. I said Brenda D. I meant Brenda Chicken Pot Pie Society. It's Kathy D, but Kathy wasn't Kathy. That was Brenda Chicken Pot Pie Society. And let's see. He's got the end of a shirt here. Just use a ballpoint pen. Well, my ballpoint pens are permanent. Where did I bring one in? Let me use this. I saw them out here. Let me use one of these Sharpies. I don't know if they're permanent. It says it's smear proof. Let me try that, and then you guys can see it better. Well, it would help if I'd take the wax tip point off. Right? That would help, Mary. And they really wax those points up. Sharpies do. The only way you can see it better. You can see where I'm going here. Those are his eyebrows. And then he's got eyes underneath of there. And his nose comes down like so. I don't know how much of an impression that's making. And then he's got a mustache that comes this way. I'm trying to press pretty hard. And sideburns, he's got an ear here. And his other mustache comes this way. Let me grab another tater tot before they get cold. Hi, Barbara. Barbara Clark. Hi, Janice Glines. Welcome. It was Barbara. Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie Society. Won this from Lori Paint Girly. And gifted it to me. Thank you, Barbara. There he is so far. Now, his hands come behind his back on this. And here's his tummy. And he's got a belt. And his beard comes this way. Yeah, I can kind of feel the lines in there. Well, let's make some lines going this way to show the gathers here. And then he's got kind of a shirt line here. Belt. I'm going to put this as the end of his buckle here. And then his shirt come out a little ways there. Now, I'm not going to be able to get all of his feet on, so I'm just going to draw his boots. Kind of make a boot shape here, a shoe shape. And maybe another one here. And it's going off of the edge of the foam. So I don't know how deep. I do feel the impression. On it. Now let's make his hat a little more, maybe a little marks in here. A cheeky, and his nose. Well, there he is. Maybe, wait, maybe I'll do some more over here. Now, I don't think I want to use permanent ink. Let's just stamp him in my journal. I'm going to use distress ink because that's what I have. And where shall I put the guy? Right here, I think. Let me grab a couple more tater tots or they're going to get cold on me. Ink, ink. I have blue and vintage. Let's use the vintage first. Let's see how he prints. Oh, I think he's going to print. We don't know. We'll see. Hi, Becky. Becky's munching a sandwich while I'm munching tater tots. He's going to fry a hamburger, but I didn't want to eat a hamburger in front of you guys. I told him to put it back in the freezer. There we go. There he is. Not too bad. I got a little spot. What was it? Right in? No, it would be right in here. That didn't print off too well, but how fun was that? Let's try the blue right on over it. I'll make him a blue-brown one. See if I can't get that eye inked a little bit more. Now this is distress ink, but I do think it will wash off of here. It may not be as clear. I don't know. We'll see. Welcome to everybody who's coming in. Hi, Barbara Clark. Hi, Sherry. Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. Susan Popo. Aunt Beck. Renee. Janice Glines. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight and hanging out with me. Well, let's see what happened. Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it? Not bad. Still got a little white spot over that eye. I'm not sure why it's not printing. It would be this side right here. Okay, now let's see if I can wash this off. Let me move all. Let me move my inks. And get out grab a couple more tater tots in my mouth. I'm gobbling them down. Now the theory on this is you should be able to heat this with a heat gun, and that stuff should, the design should disappear. But I'm going to wash it off a little, maybe take one of these brushes. Oh, let's wet this. Let's experiment a little. two eyes in there. Oh, ghost image. For some reason that eye there is not printing, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I have it scraped in there. Okay, let's take them, see if I can't get the rest of this ink off. Just wipe it off with a towel. Now this is distress ink, so most of it's coming off. Now, you're supposed to be able to hit this with the heat gun, right? If I understand right, other than if it doesn't work, I'll have a gnome stamp. And I don't know how often you do this. Hi, Barbara number 3, Barbara Baxter. Hi, Violet. Now you might still see the ink. I can still feel that though. You guys know how long I have to do this? I think it's working, but I still feel the impression when I run my hand across it. It's my understanding that if you hit this with a heat gun, it's supposed to, your design is supposed to disappear, but I don't know how long you have to sit here and heat it. I'll grab another tater tot. If you've actually broken the surface, it might not smooth out. Oh, I broke the surface. Ooh! Ow! It's getting sticky. Look, it kind of burnt it. It's sticky. Where that's dark, it's very sticky. I think I had my heat gun too close to it. Don't hold it there. You're melting it. I'm melting my gnome. You're melting it, Mary. You're melting it. She's saying, Barbara's saying, don't hold it in one spot or it'll melt it. She's saying, move your heat gun around, I think. One more tater tot. There, I ate them all. I can still feel the impression, but I might have pressed too hard, but I got a nice white line. I even got white lines on my ghost prints. I didn't get white lines there. That was more or less cleaning off the ink, but if it's that stuff, you heat it thoroughly with the heat gun and then press it into a texture. What texture do I have here? Oh, I've got a tablecloth. Are you saying that I heat this thoroughly, the blank side, and press it into a texture? I might still have some lines from this, rather than draw on it, I think Barb is saying. I don't know if I'll get my gnome out. I might just redraw him. Because I'm just learning. Let's heat this. And I have, what do I have for texture? I have this. Let me get it out. Hold the phone. It's covering up my box that I was inventorying. I have this. Would this work as a texture? Hi, Jamie. Jamie, have you ever used this foam? This stamp foam? Wait a minute. I knocked my lace over here. And I knocked my gnome book down. Ah. Let me get stuff out of this or it's all gonna spill on me. What else do I have that I'm getting out here? I have my stitching. I have my dolls. I can work on my dolls tonight. Here are my dolls. And I have a bag of pins. I haven't done any more to sorting out other than I did straighten up that pile behind me. Hold it. Let me fix my chair now. Is Rosemary here? Hi, Rosemary. Rosemary Morris, did you see my African lady that I did a stencil of? You inspired it. Let me get it out. Well, there goes that. Let me show Rosemary the African lady. Let me zoom back out. You did not. Okay. Let me show it to you. It's in the stencil's in this book. I think I put it back in here. Here's the stencil. And I stamped her out here. Here she is right here. I got this idea for this from unsplash.com. Well, I mean, the lady carrying the little baby came off of Unsplash. But this was inspired by you and your stencils that you were doing. I'm really happy. It really did turn out. I want to do a couple more. I was thinking I'd do a gnome stencil. You have your yes, I have your address, Rosemary. And you know what? I think I have a couple sheets of that. I've been looking for it. I think I have a couple sheets of that paper left. And if I find it, when I find it, I'll send it to you. That court docket paper. I think I have a couple sheets left. I might have a couple sheets in my journal that I haven't used yet. And I would tear that out too. I mean, it's just, you know, it's not in this journal. I think it's in last month's journal. Where is my last month's journal? Let me turn around here. It's here. Hold on. Let me see. I pretty much filled this journal up, but it might be, if I would have known that I wouldn't have put it in here, I would have, because I got some from Johnny. Ooh, I painted on road on it. I collaged on that one, but maybe at the back. See, I could take this apart here and send you this. And I wouldn't mind doing that. You might only get half sheets. I got at least 2, and I can take this off. And I got at least 2. Hold on, there might be another one in here. Oh, that's the pattern of the butterfly. Yeah, see, I used it in my journal. My bobby pin stamps. But I think I have a couple of blank sheets that I haven't used yet. And I'll tear those 2. Well, I can send you this if you don't mind the gold on one side. This is, I think that's bronze metallic. And that might go to one of these sheets here in the back. Yeah, it does. It goes to this one. So I'll take that whole sheet out of here. Let's just do that now. Well, it'll have to be both sides. I'll have to tear it in half because I stitched it in, Rosemary. Yeah, it's for your echo dyeing, I know. And your echo dyeing was pretty. Would that affect your echo dyeing paint on one side? Would that affect your echo dyeing? Let's take this side out first in case she... Not this one. This is a blank sheet here. I can tear that out. And you know, I could just cut it on this line here and still have it stitched in my book. Let's just cut it right here. So I can give you a little of it. And this is okay with me because these are pages that I didn't use. And if you can use them, you're sure welcome to them. Whoops, I'm cutting my pattern there. I'll fix that with washi. Oh, it's okay to tear it out because this journal is last month's journal, and I really didn't use these too much. And I don't mind. This was just a pocket. I can put the pocket on another side. And I didn't use it, so I might as well send it to you. I don't mind doing that. I know you were looking for some. This is a blank sheet. Now, I'm going to cut it, though, so that the other side of it, which is probably the front page, will still stay in. So never fear. Never fear, Rosemary. You can play with it anyway. You might get a couple sheets out of it. And I'll look for that other. And if I can find it, I'll send it to you. My sense is that it's in my room someplace. And it might be over across where I haven't sorted yet. I thought it would be in that stack of things behind me, but it wasn't. So here you got at least one full sheet, front and back. I love your caboodles, Rosemary. You do such a wonderful job. Let's see what else I have here. I'm not going to tear that one out. And these are my stamped images. I can't send you those. Oh, let's see what else I have here. Here's a blank one. We can send this one to you. See, I'm done with this journal. So I might as well just go ahead and send you what I didn't use, right? If you want to play with it, you can. Rosemary's sitting there. All right, I guess I have to take it. I don't know if I can get that out. Let's turn it the other way. So this would have probably never been used anyway, Rosemary, because I'm done with this journal. This is last month's journal. And that's the back of a pattern that I scribbled on. This I stamped on, painted on, drew on. This was my summertime journal from Becky, working with Becky. These I drew on, stamped on it. I think that's about it for this journal, but I think I have a couple sheets. Let me just browse around and maybe I can find them. But let me put this back together now. However, you do have at least 3 halves front and back that you can play with. And give me next week to look around in my room and see if I can find that other. Hi, Allie K. Paint Girly made a video a month ago about the foam. Simon Hurley, she gave this foam. Yes, I knew that. I knew that it came from Paint Girly, and I knew this is Simon Hurley foam. But I'm not sure I can get my gnome out of there because I did press on it pretty hard. And I did break it in here and in there. But I really didn't break this. This is just impressed in there, so I might just need to heat it a little bit more. But I got my heat gun too close to that. So let's try it again. Barbara said you heat the foam. I did not watch the video, Allie. Let's heat up the foam and press this doily into it and see if that works. You might need more of maybe a stencil. Did he press a stencil into there? She used it in the video. Okay. Well, I didn't see that part. I'd have to go back and look, and I want to play right now. Don't melt it, Mary. I don't know how hot it has to be. And I don't know if this is textured enough for it. Oh, it might be. It might be, you guys. Here, let's get... Oh, I can see it. Oh, this is going to be cool. Let me stamp this off. Let me get out my journal again. Now, the gnome one, if I can't get that gnome out of there, I'll just use them because I'm not unhappy with my gnome. I'm happy with him. Oh, turn it right side up, Mary. And I'll just leave him in there because he's not a bad gnome. I might have to figure out what to do with this. Maybe I could heat that up a little more. Let's stamp this off in here. I think this is going to be pretty. I can see it when I turn it to the light. Let's do the vintage photo. Oh, you guys can see it too. Shall I zoom? Let me zoom in again. I might be in a little far, but you can see the design on it. Just off of that tablecloth. You know, I had found my stamp plastic acrylic block, and I thought I saved it out, but evidently I didn't. Let's use this. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, it's warm in here. It is warm in here. Hi, Janet. Janet put a link to Rosemary's video. Thank you so much, Janet. I appreciate your mods. I do. Let's put some blue on over that, just to see if I can kind of mix the colors. Let's see what happens here. My brown might be kind of faded because I didn't re-ink the brown. Yeah, the brown's kind of faded. But, oh, that's really coming out nice. Let's do an all blue one. I'm zoomed in a little far here. What's under here? iPad. I'm about 20 seconds behind myself on my tablet's lagging about 20 seconds. Oh, that's really coming out nice. I'm going to do a ghost. This is distress ink on this, and it does wash off pretty good. That's about as ghosty as it can get. Now, let's see if we can clear that off. Let me... This might be easier to heat up and clear off. Do it this way. See if I can get anything off of this. No, pretty much. But it did clean it off pretty good. Now, let's see if we can heat this up and let it disappear. And it's disappearing, I can see. So I might be able to get this other to disappear. I'm not sure I want to. I just might. I pressed in there pretty hard. Not knowing what I was doing. But that's okay. I might just make him a permanent gnome stamp. Don't melt it. I think that's pretty much gone. I don't feel it. So let's try something else. Let's try a stencil. I'm going to save my gnomes. Let's get out another paper here. Another paper. Let's try a stencil. Let's see, what do I have? I have some Tim Holtz little stencils. I have a snowflakes and stars and cats and dogs. And I just have this circle one. What else do I have? Oh, let's do Johnny's stencil. Let's do Johnny's stencil. It's a little bit bigger than this, but maybe if I put it this way. No, it doesn't quite fit. If I stop it here, it might, if I just do this part in there, I want to try it. Let's do Johnny's, or we can do this one, that one. Let's try both of those, and then I'll quit and move on. Hi, Kathy Whitney. Hi, Cheryl. Allie K, Renee, Mina. Hi, Nina. Renee. Hi, everybody. I'm Laura. Hi, Ann. Welcome, Ann. Barbara Batzer says, I'm working on postcards to get in the mail for Happy Mail. I am too, Barbara, but it's taken me a while. Janet's here. Aw. Zena. Hi, Zena. Welcome, Zena. Janet left a link to Rosemary Morris's channel. Hi, Pat Smith. She says, you can press anything into this. I used this stuff years ago. Well, you know what, Pat? Not knowing what I was doing, I used a crochet hook. And I might have broke the... And I'm having a hard time getting my gnome to disappear. But if I keep heating it, it might melt back together. It might just take a little bit more heat. So we're going to work with this side. I'm going to try Johnny's stencil. Just that much of it. Because that's a nice firm stencil. Whatever she used this out to cut with. She did a good job. You know what would be fun to do is to do some African mud cloth designs for my book. But I haven't started yet. So all you do is heat up the foam. And this seems to work pretty good. Now it worked with the tablecloth, which embossed into it. I don't know how it's going to work with the stencil. This might work, because that might emboss into it, but I don't know if this is going to emboss into it. We're going to find out. And I need something flat to press with. I hope I didn't move it. I'm trying to press onto it really hard. It might just give the line shape. I'm not sure. We'll see. Oh, no. It looks nice. Oh, wow, you guys. This is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. Let me get my journal out. I stack things up so fast here, it's not even funny. I'm filling up my journal. I'm filling up the pages. Wait. It goes like this. Let's stamp over on this side. I've got some curves there. Let's see. Maybe, I don't know. What else do I have in here? Maybe here. And let's use Let me zoom out just a little because it's zoomed in a little too far. There. Let's use a pigment dye. I don't want to use my permanent inks on this, and that's what I use most of the time. I dropped the sponge. Yeah. Hold the phone. Let me get it out. Because they're down at the bottom, of course, because I don't use them that much. Where'd they go? They're both down at the bottom. Where'd they go to? Hold it. I'm looking. They're all over on the other side. Well, where'd my pigment dyes go to? I might just have to use what I have out because, or did I stack them up someplace else? These are all archival. Oh, here, no, that's Distress. Here's a pigment dye that I got it, but it's still a brown. I don't know what I did with my other pigment dyes. This is a vintage photo. Here's a pink. That's still vintage photo. I try to keep all my ink on one shelf here, but evidently my other two got refiled someplace or another. I don't see them in here, but we'll use the pink. And this is a pigment dye. I got it at one of the sales, I guess. And it is it's Stampability's Pigment Ink. Now, Pigment Ink does not dry fast, which is kind of good. And I don't know what color this is. Looks like a black, doesn't it? Oh, it's kind of a brownish color. Let's go with the pink because I know that one. Let's go with the pink. This is Gnome Stencil. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of got ink in between in there, but I'm going to let it be. Let's see what this is going to look like. Oh, I'm loving it. I am loving it. Now, if I wanted to, I could do a couple of these, heat out that design, and put that stencil the other way and have them face each other. Let's try that. That's a nice juicy ink pad because I don't use pink an awful lot. Hi, Zena. I guess I said hello to you, but thanks for being here. Hi, Jamie, Kathy Whitney, Julie Parker. Hi, Julie. Pigment ink is fun with embossing powder. Yeah. And Annie V sent me a whole bunch of embossing powder that I inventoried and put it in a box. Okay, let's clean this off. Let me play with this a minute. I'm just gonna give it a wash here. I don't think it will stamp off very nice after I put water on it, but who knows, it might. You did all right. I'm just cleaning the pad. Let's wash it off a little bit more. You want an ink that you can wash off. Or I do. I don't know if you do or not. I suppose if you had a stamp cleaner, you could use that on here to wash off your permanent ink. Okay, let's heat this up. Now my stencil's facing that way. I want to face it facing the right instead of the left. And it is melting out pretty good. I must have these other lines too deep. All right, now what did I do with the stencil? It's over here. Did I put it over here? Yeah. Okay, now I had that stencil facing, so we're going to face it this way this time, because then it'll stamp that way. So we need to heat it up. Let me grab something to, let me grab this box before I do anything. Let me grab my stamp box. That's got a wide base so that I can grab onto it and press down. Heat it up. And I imagine you could stamp with this as many times as you want. Ouch. Until it didn't give a good impression anymore. Okay, we're going to put this here. And then I'm going to take my box and press down on it. I get more of an even pressure, I think. I don't know. All right. Is that good? We'll see. Looking good. I can feel it. All right. So let's get my journal out. And I'm going to use the same color of ink. And then I'm going to stamp this one. Will face that way. All right, let's see what we have. Yeah, it's a little fading out, just a little in there, but it's still. Let's try it again. I think this needed to be heated a little bit more. Becky says, I'm hoping to get, oh, the dresses. Becky is making these wonderful, she's doing a Dress a Girl project. She says she's hoping to get them all made and in the mail before next weekend. So Marie Sews can add the Project Dress a Girl labels to the dresses before the end of the month. Becky, those dresses are just wonderful. If I was a little girl, I'd wear one of those. Pretty cool. Oh, you can't see it. Let me zoom out now because I'm done. Let me zoom out. Doop. Yeah, Janet says she loves those dresses. You know, I need to check and see if my phone is charging. Yeah, it is. I didn't have my phone plugged in before I came in here, so I had, I think it was down to 49%, but it's been charging here. It has to charge while it is Zoom, while I'm doing YouTube, so that takes it. It's YouTube is using up juice, and it's okay. Let's clean off my stamp. Yeah, I'm just gonna wash it off. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get much out of this. I think I kind of overdid it on this side, not understanding. Should have watched the video, Mary. You should have watched the video. Let's give this another clean and a wipe down. And let's go ahead and heat the design off of this side at least. So if I want to use it again, I at least have one side. And I'm tempted to do that gnome a little bit again, just redefine him and just keep him there permanently. But we'll see. It's fun that you can reheat this. It's really fun. It just takes that design right out. All right, let's turn this over and see if I can't get some of this off. I think he's there for all time. Let's see if I can wash it. Any. You know, that might just be the ink. I feel a little in here, but if I keep heating this, I might be able to get the, right there I broke it, but broke the, this might be an ink mark. Well, no, I feel it a little in there. I think I got him in there permanently. Let's try to put some ink on him and see what shows up. Yeah, see, he's not going away. That gnome is here to stay. I might just redefine him on there and use him as a gnome stamp. Yeah. This is where, well, that's where it got too hot on the foam. Here and here. We'll play with that another day. I'm going to leave him. That's lesson learned. At least I had two sides of the stamp, right? All right, let's put the ink away. I'm pretty happy with it. That was a fun thing to play with. And I have one side. If I can reheat the one and use the one over. I'm happy. All right, let's wash this off. He's kind of cute. I think this is too watery. Yeah, it's too watery, but it got my stamp clean. Yeah, we'll have to figure out, maybe if I just keep heating this, it will mend up. But I broke it in here because I didn't know what I was doing. See, you should have watched the video, Mary. All right, I'll save this out. I'm going to put it up here on my cabinet. We're done playing with that. Where are you going next, Mary? Let's see, what did I want to do tonight? I have my Society of Idea Collectors book out here. And I wrote down a list. Finished owl postcards, bobby pin embellishments, door prompt cards. These are things I need to finish. And then I put a question mark on fall leaves, my dolls, my gnome stencil, and an African stencil. Huh. Shall I do the postcards next? Because they really need to be done. And this is the prototype that I'm going to put on these. So this background on here will not be white. So maybe I should zoom in again. Get this off. Whew, I should have set up that fan. It's hot in here. Let me put my stencil back with the stencils. You know, the hardest part of this room organization is not messing it up again. I have things on my desk like, okay, what did I cut here the other day? I cut that box, this that you see as my desk mat. And I cut the corners and I thought, oh, I can use those for clusters. And they're sitting over on my desk. Let's put them underneath my stack of scrap papers. At least they'll be off the top of the desk. I got the candles here. I got my Sharpie ink pens that I keep pulling out because I can't find the ones I have. I'm going to buy some more of those. I really do like these S-Gel Sharpie pens. I got 2 sets of eyeglasses. Oh, let's do this before I do the postcards. I bought this at Dollar Tree. And I think my journal has a black sheet right at the first. Let's get my journal out. I think so. Let's collage that down. Won't that be pretty there? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's cut it off. Oh, am I frozen? I look frozen in my... Cut right here, maybe. Now, if I go this way, though, I can put 2. And it might... Be able to match this up? Not quite. Now I like cut it that way. We'll put something else there. Maybe a strip of this. All right, let's see what this is. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, this is called ribbon. They're calling it ribbon, but it's almost like a, oh, I want to say a tulle, maybe. Oh, that's pretty. Let's put it over here like this. Cut it right under this leaf here. And how are you going to put it down? Well, I don't think a glue stick will do it, and I think glue will seep through there. But I'm thinking wet glue, and I'm not sure how that's going to work with, I'll have to just dry it good. Or, let's put that there. I do have some Liquitex. I don't use this a whole lot. Matte medium. So let's the trick to being uncluttered is to put stuff up, Jamie says. You gotta put it away. Look, it's silver on the other side. So if you wanted to do something for Christmas, you could do silver, or you could do gold, or you could mix them. But we're gonna do the gold. And I am going to take this piece of wax paper that's on the bottom of my, and I'm going to put it in here. And I'll just have to, you know, I'm afraid if I hit this with the heat gun, I'm afraid it's going to melt my, I'll bet it will. If I hit this with the heat gun, it's going to melt this. So I might just have to do this and set it aside and let it dry. Oops, it's got a string on it. I might have needed to shake this up. I haven't used it in a while. It looks a little juicy. And I got the ink on this brush from the pads, but oh well. Now I can't put any of this on the front because it'll take away the shine. So I have to make sure I get this on there good. And it seems to be drying really fast. This is matte medium. Seems to be soaking through real fast. Through this paper very fast. I'm going to have to work faster. All right, let's try it. We're going to give it a try and see what happens. This might dry so fast I may not have to worry about it. It'd be nice if I could get things on straight. Yeah. It's already dry in there. It's wet dry. I'm going to shake this up a little. This cost me $34 for this big bottle, so I really do not use it a lot. I use Elmer's glue, which costs me $10 a gallon or $11 a gallon. There. Oh, I think this will dry pretty fast, though. Can I pull this up? Let's shake it up. It seemed to soak right into my page. And I got a lot on there. We're going to leave it gooped on. Oh, look, see, I pulled it right up. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm just going to use my hand. I don't know if this will work with the toile or not. They call this a ribbon, but it's really more of a toile. And that matte over my shiny leaves dull out my leaves. Let's see if I can just paint around this. All right, I'm not going to attempt to heat this because I have a fear this may not have been the best method. I have a fear that it's going to melt the toile. I just think it will. In fact, I'm going to test it. I'm going to set my journal aside. It's pretty. We'll see how this dries. We'll see if it may just need to be left alone for a half an hour or so. Let me put it down here with my journals. Okay, let's take, where's that other strip of it? I want to see what happens to this. And let's take this paper. I'll do it on the back. And let's see what happens to this when I hit it with the heat gun. I think it will melt. Oops, I'm going to have to put rubber bands around that. This will be good for, you know, decorative wreaths and stuff like that. I'm not sure it was really meant to put in a journal. It might work with double-sided tape, but I think the tape would get sticky under it. All right, let's see what happens here. Well, maybe not. It's not melting. Oh, there it melts. So you get it too hot. You get it too hot, and it's just like plastic. It melts it. I knew it would do that. So if you're sitting there wanting to dry your glue, I suppose if you keep your heat gun away from it, don't put your heat gun straight up to it, keep your heat gun away from it, it might work. But I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to let it air dry. We'll just play with that with something or other. I'm going to tuck it on the inside right now. Whew, it's getting warm in here. All right, let me look at chat. Cheryl says, hi, Julie. Julie says, woohoo, got my new Crocodile Big Bite. Nina says, Mary, can do a controlled melt. It could be pretty. Yeah, if you do a controlled melt, it would be pretty. Melt it in certain spots. Janet needs to go pick up her son. Janet says, I like using a mixture of Mod Podge, Elmer's glue, and water. Yeah, I just use Elmer's glue and water. I don't buy the Mod Podge either. What happened to my... And I don't use glue all. I use school glue. I use school glue. All right, I found this owl works best if I paint it a silhouette black first and then come in with my white fine liner. So we're going to just draw him on there. And you know, I'm not going to do a lot of fancy-dancy. We're just going to do that simple leaf around him, and we're going to do the, because now I sat there Friday and I self-addressed, put my address on and signed it and everything on 38 postcards. So if I get these done, 38 and 8 is 40, what, 46? And I want to send some, I like to send a postcard back to myself, so I have one on my own. But some of you are going to get postcards, and I'm going to keep track of who I send the postcards to. And if you don't get one, if I have your address, you'll get one eventually. All right, I think I'm going to do this to all 8 of them, and then I'll come in and paint. Let's see, let's put him here. Now, better to put him this way. And there's only 8 of these, so it isn't like it's going to be an all-night thing. Did I draw that? Oh, yeah. And I have, if I can find them, I think they're over there on my Happy Mail cart. And if I can find the list, I know I did some owls last year and I gave them away. And I know one goes to Janet Baum, but I don't know. I had 4 of them and I don't know who the others went to. I might be able to find it in my video. I might have owl postcards. And if I can find it, I'll send those off too. I was into making a lot of postcards last year. I think I was going to do a postcard journal. But you know Mary, she starts and then she gets inspired by something else going on. Now Becky's been making fall embellishments. Last year, I don't know if she's going to do it again. If she's listening, she might be able to tell us if she's going to do fall embellishments again this week. Last week, she made an adorable little owl, and she made pumpkins. And Sue Hiles is doing an open cluster challenge. So I'm following both of those. I'll tell you, I watched Sue Hiles again today. She did a collage, and I think one of her people that she watches, I'm not familiar with the lady that she watches, I think is doing a collage challenge. There's a lot of open challenges going on. They call them open challenges. I've never heard them called open challenges before. And all it is they'll do something and then they'll either list prompts, like Sue Hiles lists prompts. Susan Hiles Art. And she said you could jump in this week if you wanted, but it officially starts next Wednesday. And the first prompt for next week is to do tiny clusters. And I'll tell you, I've been making myself wait till next Wednesday. Well, I got other things I need to get done. Boy, I'm just sweating here. I am sweating in this room. I thought it would be okay because it was a little cooler today, although it was hot out. I went out and sat on the front porch today and it was warm. Yesterday, I mowed the lawn and man, did that tire me out. I was exhausted. And I was grumpy. You wouldn't want to see me in any chat yesterday because I was tired and grumpy. I'll put it over here. And, yeah, that was that. I got mad at my brother because I was hot and I was tired and I wanted to water my plants and sit in the porch swing. And he came out, I'm tired. And he sat in the porch swing. And I'm going, you bum. I did all the work. You slept through it all and you come out and take my seat on the porch swing and say, I'm tired. I got mad and went in the house and took a shower. And I didn't stay mad long, but it did kind of perturb me. I thought, what do you have to be tired for? I did all the work. I did tell him that. I said, what do you have to? He says, I'm tired from yesterday. He went fishing yesterday. Oh, brothers. I guess, and he didn't even drive, you know, his son drove. I guess sitting there holding that fishing pole really tired him out. All right, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm good. Now I'm going to paint. And let's get that. Did I throw that wax paper away? No, I put that wax paper in my. Let's get another piece of wax paper out. I love my brother, but sometimes, you know, he's a brother. Sometimes he's a brother. And when I went to Menards, when I went shopping, I think it was Thursday, I had to go pay bills and all of that. Once a month, I go do all my shopping stuff. But I went to Menards and got a shelf to put up over here in the corner. That's another thing I'm going to do is take those little drawers out and put them upstairs and put up a shelf. I had a shelf in there, but I moved the shelf to the other side of the room. What did Nina say? I had to go take a nap because I stayed up really late last night. You did? Well, I stay up late some nights too. But I've been trying to end my streams early. Like I want to end my stream here tonight at 10 o'clock. From 6 until 10 is 4 hours. And that is plenty of time. This brush is... Let's use this brush. I don't know if I got these brushes cleaned. I didn't that one, but it'll clean off. See, I pile stuff over to the side there. All right, we're just gonna paint in my owls as a silhouette. It won't take long. They'll probably, first one will be dry by the time I get the last one done. But I did mow the lawn yesterday, and it was kind of warm out yesterday, so it was a lot warmer than it looked. And I don't mind mowing the lawn when it's cool out, but that heat just tires you out. The heat tires you out. Now, it doesn't matter. I don't think I'm going to have to put a second coat on these because I am going to use my white fine liner on it, and the black will sort of go into the background. My thought on that is, and he's going to be sitting on a branch. He's floating in the air right now. There's two. Humidity in the 70s today. Temp was 90 something. Oh, Mina. Janice says, Angie, are you in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park? Oh, Angie left. Mina says, I want to be alert for when Mary came on. Aw, Mina, you're so sweet. Mina, if you have to go and take a nap while I'm on, I don't mind. I don't mind. Boy, I enjoyed our stream Friday night, though, when we did that the fall list. That was fun. I was looking through that. We did, I think, 3.5 pages of fall in Phibbsville, things that you would see in the fall in Phibbsville. And then I asked Random Org to choose one of the things off the list, and it chose a dog wearing a sweater. So I did a little sketch. I went to unsplash.com and got a sketch of this little doggy wearing it was a gold sweater. But we ended up with a dog named Sherlock, who happens to belong to Officer Orville. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. This wax paper's floating around my desk here. Now, this is Sunday night. Tomorrow morning, Dee Dee comes on at 8:30, and Janet Nash comes on at 9 Eastern. Both times are Eastern. And what I'm going to do, I think, if I'm awake, I'm trying to end my stream at 10 o'clock on Sunday night so I can get some rest, so I can be awake. I don't always make it awake on Monday mornings. But if I quit my stream early enough and go to bed, I can be up by 9. Well, it's 9 Eastern, so it's 8 o'clock. I don't know. I won't get in there exactly at 9, I don't think. But Janet was doing prompts when I went in last week, and I liked working up her prompts. That was fun. So she comes on tomorrow, and then Dee Dee comes on again on Wednesday. So my plan is to watch Janet on Mondays and Dee Dee on Wednesdays, if I make it. But I watched a little of Dee Dee. I must have watched the replay because, or did I watch it on Wednesday where she was doing that black and gold? Black and gold, black and gold, she took my heart away. And does anybody know if Dee Dee gave a Society of Idea Collector idea last week? I haven't heard any recently. A warning came over the news on them trying to not get bitten. Brenda said she has to leave. Bye, Brenda D. Sherlock is adorable. Thank you, Mina. Obligatory child of Fibbsville, cartwheels. Yeah, Renee is our child in Fibbsville. Our Fibbsville child. I was saying, we don't have any children in Fibbsville. We need some children, and Renee said she'd volunteer to be a child. I don't know. I hope I don't get in trouble with COPPA, Renee. I don't think they're after the little people. But I might get flagged if I talk too much about children. Are you doing a children's video? I haven't heard much about that. It was really a big thing a year or so ago. And I took all my Sebastian Spider stories, and they're still online, but I marked them as for children, so they won't pop up in the feeds, probably. Anything you mark as for children gets certain rules. Okay, I got, what, 4 done? Janet's come back? Janet. Wow, Janet. That was fast. That was fast, Janet. Cheryl said we started with 69 degrees this morning. Wow. Angie said that they went to see some elk today. I'm kind of looking back. Angie said she's been gone all day. Oh, Dee Dee ran out of time. She was she coloring? Dee Dee, I don't go much for the coloring. Not that I don't begrudge it for other people, but I don't mean to be mean about it, but coloring bores me. If I can melt the crayons, I'm okay. I should get a coloring book, one of those fancy dancy coloring books that they work in, and melt crayons in it. If I can melt the crayons, I'm fine. I have to be sloppy. All that detail work with coloring and colored pen. Although I did buy some colored pencils at Walmart the other day. I thought I might try to do some of those colored pencil techniques out of that book that I bought at the library sale. But we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But I'm not one to sit and want to color between the lines. I'm just not one to do that. I never was. Coloring between the lines. To me, what it is, a coloring book is somebody else's art that you're just coloring. I have to, even if my art is not good art, it's got to be my art. Mary, did those owls by hand? I swore it was a stamp. No, I did them by hand. I did these owls by hand. And then I cut this one out and made a template. And then I made a template on it, traced around, and now I'm doing the silhouette. And after the silhouette dries, I'll come in and detail it with my fine liner. That's the plan. Aw, thank you, Allie. Hi, Darla Kay. Oh, yeah, Society of Idea Collector. Darla said Society of Idea Collector is what I was referring to. I don't think there was one. Thank you, Darla. She plans to start again this week. Yay! Mosquitoes outside are big enough to throw a saddle on. We had here in Nebraska recently 2 deaths from people getting bitten by mosquitoes and getting the West Nile virus. It's spread by mosquitoes. So be sure you put repellent on if you go outside. I don't know if you have the West Nile virus in your area, but I don't like going outside after dark, especially with no protection. Of course, they can come in the house too, but the bats take care of the mosquitoes in our area. But still, you can get bitten. We had 2 people here in Nebraska die. I read it in the paper. They got, I think it was up north, they got bit by mosquitoes and got the West Nile virus. And they died. Sad to die from a mosquito bite. I think, let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I put one over here? Where's my 8th one? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh. 8. All right, they're all here. Julie said, in some parts of Australia, you can get Ross River fever from mosquito bites. It's a very nasty disease. Cheryl said, yes, and there's another sickness you can get also from mosquitoes. Goodness me. Yeah. Those mosquitoes can be nasty, 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 nasty. Yeah. Okay. Now, I can't decide if I want to do this edge first. I think let's throw this little black away. Put that brush in the water. If I don't throw this away, I'll put my hand in it. We're going to let these up here dry. I'm going to close up my black paint. And what I'm going to do is take my marker. I want the big fat one. And I'm going to put a border on these first. See, I want the border here, and then I'm going to come in and draw just a simple leaf that way. So let's do this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But I have to do this before I do the fine liner stuff because the fine liner is going to take a while to dry. Now, do I want to use this or let's see, is that a thin one? That's a thin one. Let's try, let's make the branch. I want the branch to kind of come like that and like that. And up and up. And like that. And then I had one coming this way and one coming down this way. And I had one leaf up here. I want this to be fairly simple. Now I had a leaf in here. I have another. Let's put a leaf there. And I had 3 leaves down in here. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I have, what did I do with it? Let me look over here on my desk. Here they are. I have a owl stamp. I carved one for Lori, Montana, and one for Paint Girly. Not Paint Girly, Artsy Nancy Wannabe. And Artsy Nancy Wannabe passed away. And I think this is one I was going to send to Lori, but I like the one that I carved for Nancy better, so I'm going to send that one to Lori, and I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to put it on my postcard. But you know what? I think I want a yellow. I want a yellow. Yeah, what can I put on the yellow? Yellow. I want a yellow wash on these. I'm going to do this one. Well, no. Let's continue with the black, and then I'll come back and do all the backs. I have to get everything done except for the white, because this white has to dry. So on here, I'm going to put a yellow back on here, and then I'm going to trim it out, put the owl post stamp on it, and that'll be. Yeah, our friend Nancy, Artsy Nancy, passed away. It's been a couple months now, I think, though. I wouldn't have known about it, but I think Janet told me. The link is for the spotted lanternfly. Please read. Ooh. Cheryl says, no more bug talk for me. Then she drops a link to the spotted lanternfly. Must be a poisonous thing. She's telling us to read it. Now, when I do these postcards, all of them, like I said, I'm going to have 46 minus 3. 43 of them will go out to people, but they're going to go out random. I'm going to border all of these first. They're going to go out random. So if you don't get, I'm keeping track of who I send them to, and if you don't get one this time, you'll get one the next time I do it. And I'll try to do this a little more often than, and this has got some, this needs to be trimmed up a little here. And the postcards are really inspired by Becky. She's always sending out. Becky and Ann got together one week and was sending out postcards. And I did this background that I'm working on now, but I never got it sent. And I dug out all of those that I had started last year or the year before. And I'm going to get them sent. They're all self-addressed. I just have to address them and put the person's name on them. And get them in the mail. And Janet, if you're out there listening, I was telling the girls that I did owl postcards last year, I think. And I had a giveaway. And you won one, but I don't think I ever got it sent to you. So I'm going to see if I can't find the list of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm 4. I'm going to try to find the list of, there were 4 of them. And I think they're over on my project cart. And I want to get these things mailed. This wax paper's getting in my way, but I don't want to mark on my sheet below. But I remember one of those owl postcards went to Janet. And if I didn't get it sent last year, maybe I can get it sent this year. We're just putting a black border. This one's almost hard to figure out which is the tail and which is the head. This is the head and that's the tail. But that almost looks like a little head. He'd have a fat tummy and a big fat tail if you had it that way. Okay. Alrighty, now I want to go in and do the branches. Wrong pen. Nina says, I have a patch of 4 ferny plants with bright yellow blossoms by my driveway. Yesterday, I saw a flock of goldfinches, bright yellow like the plants, eating the flowers and seeds. Oh, Nina, that's cool. Mina said, I wish I knew what the plants were. They grew on their own. Aw, that's neat, Mina. She says, I wish I would have had my camera. Yeah, I think I did the owls last year. Cheryl says, yeah. Well, there are apps that recognize the plants, and I tried one of those apps because there's a plant that we don't know if it's a weed or a plant. It grows volunteer. And I tried the app, and they wouldn't let you, they'd let you take a picture, but in order to identify it, you had to buy their app. And I didn't do it because I only wanted that one. And I thought, well, pooh. You could at least let us have one free. So I uninstalled the app. But make sure when you look at those apps that you don't get fooled. It was heavily advertised earlier this spring, that app. And I suppose if you had a lot of plants that you didn't know what were, it might be worth it, but I know what most of my plants are. It isn't like I have to go, pay $4 or $5 to figure out what a plant is. Now, I was a little disappointed in the app, let's put it that way. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. So that one's done, and this one is done. Nina says she has one called Plant In for iPhone. I'm not sure how accurate it is. Yeah, I think there are probably some free ones out there. I just followed the link one day off of an advertisement, and I downloaded it because I thought, oh, maybe I can learn what that plant is. But I was disappointed that it made me pay. Only I didn't pay. I wasn't going to give them even $1 to identify one plant. But I think it was more. I think they wanted $4 or $5, if I remember right. And I don't know if that was a one-time deal. I know I was instantly got a negative. And they probably told in the description before you download, they probably said you'd have to pay for it, but I guess I missed that. So you can't blame nobody but your. But just as a warning, there's 3. Google Plants have goldfinches. Like and see if something comes up. Google. Yeah. The app would be handy. But if that doesn't work, I'll take a pressed specimen to the University Herbarium. That would be a good idea. What did I do here? Looks like I spilled on it. Let's make this owl a little fatter here. And this, I'll probably have to put a leaf up there. Oh, I know what happened. I got one of these on the back, on the back of one stuck to this. And it got black ink on it. I'll put a leaf there. We'll bring this branch up like this. Like that. It's really hot in here. Things are sticking to my hand. Like that. And we'll bring this down a little more. Yeah, now Tuesday I will be on. I'm not sure when my brother has another VA appointment. His doctor couldn't see him Tuesday. He was full, so my brother likes to do everything in one day when he does his yearly physicals. But he got a new doctor. They change doctors frequently up there. And the doctor couldn't see him. He'd already had that day all scheduled out. So my brother has to go back to get his physical. So we have to go back next Tuesday. But I told my brother, we don't have to stop at Walmart this time. I let him off that Hobby Lobby. I'm going to let him off of the Hobby Lobby hook. However, I might want to go to Walmart. We drove by Walmart, and my brother said, I don't like that store, so I don't know if I'll get him to go. He doesn't like it, not because of the store, but because he has to do so much walking. There's too much walking for his feet. He says his feet hurt. And I say, if you'd walk more, your feet wouldn't hurt so much. You need to learn to use those feet muscles. He needs more exercise. But he won't listen to his sister. This is all sticking to me. Let's pull it out for now. Sticking to my hand. So I might stream on Thursday, but I don't know for how long. I don't know when his appointment is, so we shall see. I might be able, if it's early afternoon, I might be, because I usually stream until 9. If it's early afternoon, I can do my full stream. Let's see, let's bring one down this way and put a leaf in here. Boy, it's warm in here. Woo! It's warm in here. Let's change this pen. This one's getting a little dry. Mary, has your brother been to a podiatrist? The VA wanted to send him to a podiatrist last year, and he wouldn't go. He's just stubborn sometimes. He wouldn't go. And he won't go on his own. If it has to take money out of his pocket, he won't go. I'm sorry, that's the way my brother is. I can't change him at this age. Never could change him. But he is going to have a cataract removed. So he is going for that. See, I want 5 on these. I usually have 2 down there. I need a branch coming up here. So 3, 4. I usually have 1 up there. What am I missing? I usually have 3 in here. Let's bring one down this way. There. 2 more. And I think the VA does well by my brother. I credit them for doing a good job. At least they do here in Nebraska. They give him good health care. All right, we want one coming down that way, 1 curving around that way, 1 here. 1 there, 1 there, and 1 in here. 1 more. Oops. We'll just make that a leaf. And we'll make one come out this way. Put one down here. And one here. And one here. Okay. So there are 8. 8. Now what I want to do, I'll put my wax paper back here. I want to do a light yellow wash on these. And it'll dry fast because I just want to wash. I want a light wet wash on them. Come on. Maybe I'll do 4 at a time. By the time I get the last 4 done, the first 4 will be dry. And get a little piece of wax paper. And I need a little bit thicker brush. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Yeah. All right, because we're going to wet. We're going to make a wash, so we're going to just put a dab of paint. And let's see, I think I'll use water out of this jar. It's clean. Have a clean jar of water and a dirty jar of water. And we want it juicy, washy. And we're just gonna swish it across here. Just to give it a little color. And I truthfully think that if you do a light wash, like on the back of your postcards, there's not enough paint on here to prevent you from marking on it with the markers. I got my clean water yellow now. I'll have to dump it out. I'm going to hit this a little bit with the heat gun because they're warping. This is watercolor paper, so it can take the wet, but it does warp when it gets wet. That's why you tape watercolor paper down. Alright, I'm going to set these aside and let them air dry a little. And we're going to do the next 4. Yeah, put a little more paint on there. And where's my brush? Get water in there. And a little bit more water. Juicy. So it's Sunday night. We're going to start a new week. Anybody got any big plans for this week? I'd like to work in this room tomorrow. I mowed the lawn Saturday. We're going to be gone Tuesday. That brings me to Wednesday. I'll probably be tired on Wednesday from Tuesday. A little bit more yellow on this one. All right. Heat gun alert. All right. Hi, Sharon. Thank you, Janet. All right, I'm going to set these aside and let them dry off a little bit more. They're dry, but we'll just let them air dry a little bit more. And I'm going to pull out the first four. And let's get my fat marker out. Now see, this is gold paint that was on there from when this is from when I made the background. I must have been using some sort of gold. But we're going to leave it. And we're just going to, because I have to get all this done before I do the fine liner stuff, because the fine liner has to dry longer. If I try to do the fine liner now, it will smudge. Let me put this tool away. That was obviously not the right tools to use on that. Foam. I might be able to get that gnome out of there if I am patient enough. I don't want it to sit here all night with the heat gun on it. Okay, now let's put this right postcard on him. Now if he's this way and you turn it over this way, that should be good. I'm going to start my postcard over here. And I do have a postcard stamp, but I don't have it out. So I'm just going to hand stamp it. And I'm going to put this line over this way, give myself more room to write a message. And let's do some little curlies here. And let's put a leaf. And let's put a leaf here. All right. So let's turn it that way. Oh, he got a little yellow on him. I guess I'll have to. If I can. He's going to get white on him anyway, but let's mark that out. Let's let that dry a little. How are these two? This one has a little yellow too. Maybe I should turn this upside down. I guess it's okay to have a little yellow on him. But he's going to have white on him anyway, so that yellow probably won't even show. Well, it won't show now because I put black on him, but... Alright. Oh, he does too. Sloppy, Mary. Sloppy, sloppy. You worked so hard to get him painted in there, and then you slopped yellow on it. Alright. Put a line. Squiggle line. All right. Four more here. Really doesn't take long. It's the assembly line process. I can't do too many of these at once. All this repetitive work starts to bore me. How come? Oh, because I stacked them up. These look okay. This one's got some yellow on it. There's not yellow on this. Well, I'm going to get a clean sheet of paper. Let's get a clean wax paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want an edge. This one has a 2 more. Okie dokie. Now just to do the writing. Make sure I have him right. He goes like this, so you turn it over like that. And then I put a line in here, do a squiggle, and a squiggle, and a leaf, and a leaf. And that one's done. Uh-oh. Yeah, I did it right. This is that one that looks like that could be the head. Yeah, this wax paper sticks to my hand. I'll make a leaf there and a leaf there. One more. And make a line. My pen's kind of running dry on this acrylic. It works on it, but you can dry out your pens on it. Okay, now let's test that stamp out. By golly, I'm going to get these done tonight. Let's make sure I have my owls straight. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, I'm going to refresh my ink pad and what did I do with that paper? Well, fiddlestick here. We're gonna test it on the back of this. And here's the owl stamp. And let's get out an ink pad. I had them all out earlier. And my black one, I think, fell down to the bottom. I can get it out here. And get a... I did this not too long ago, but I want to do it again on my postcards. Refresh my ink pad. And let me tell you, when you buy a little bottle of re-inker like this, it goes a long way. I purchased 3 of these, all black, because I thought I'd use it all up. I'm still on the first one, and I purchased those several months ago. It goes a long way. And that's about all I put on when I re-ink. And you do work it in a little. And I can't tell you how old this ink pad is. I've had it for a long, 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 long time. All right, we're gonna test out this stamp on. This is one I carved when I was carving those Christmas stamps. And I carved one for Lori Montana and one for Artsy Nancy. And I think this is the one I carved for Lori. Oh, I'm going to have to re-ink that a little bit more. But what I don't like about it is, well, I'll have to check. This might be the one. I'll have to get out the other one. One of them, I got too much. I think this is it. It got too much of a white space in there. And so I recarved it again. But Artsy Nancy passed away. So I'm going to keep this one. Or I'll keep the one, I'll send Lori Montana the better one when I get them sent out. And I have to make sure I get a good amount of ink on it. Let's do it again. And when you have a design that comes clear out to the edge on these erasers, you have to make sure that you ink clear out to the edge and that you press down on the edge, you know, to get a good impression. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But I don't like that white line in there, and I think the other stamp that I did is better. I hope. So I'm going to stamp the owl down in here. And we'll hopefully I'll get a lot of ink on my owl. And hopefully they'll go good. We shall see. And the Frugal Crafter says you always want to leave your... You don't want to just poop like that. You want to let your pad, your ink, your stamp rest on the page for a little bit to allow that ink to soak in. And I should probably zoom in just a little so you guys can see this better. All right, let's see how it went. Oh, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then I'll just write hello, put my address up there, write hello here, and sign it down here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little better. There. Thank you, Jude. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, I think I was going to send this one to Nancy or Lori. I don't remember who I was going to send it off to. But I got 2 owls. And I'll choose the better of the 2 to send to Lori Montana. Lori loves Montana. I haven't sent out any stamp of these stamps that I carved a couple years ago, except for Janet Nash, I sent her a cardinal one. And Mary 2, I did a dove. I sent her the dove. And all the others I have, but what? Well, I tried to send Mina's off to her. And Mina's got destroyed in the mail. And that scared me. That was during the election time, I think. Because I wanted Mina to get it for Christmas. Prior to November 4th. And the post office was being deluged with ballots and COVID and everything else going on. And poor little Mina's teddy bear got lost, and she got the mangled envelope, but she never got the stamp. And this time when I send them out, I'm going to say, hand cancel. Do not put it through the machines. All right, make sure I get my edges. Press down real good. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I'm liking them. There's 2. Angie says, are you all not talking? What are you working on? Angie comes to chat. Angie comes, she says, I'm in live chat. I want to talk. Somebody talk to me. Yeah, I can't art and chat at the same time because I invariably either say something wrong or mess up my art. Vanessa says she's prepping for a recording. Mina says, I always wonder how much mail I never get at all. I never know unless somebody inquires. Well, Mina, I recarved you a stamp. It's here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Uh-oh. I'll find it, Mina. I didn't destroy it. But you know, I should think about sending those out before Christmas this year. Maybe I'll work on that after I sent Becky her gnome, her wild girl gnome stamp. I'm pretty happy with how they're coming out. How many have I done here? I've only done 3. Where's the rest of my postcards? Wait. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oh, I didn't write on this one. Well, we'll come back to that. How do I miss those things? I don't know. I could stamp on it and then write on it after I stamped on it. Let's do that. Jude, did you put your address in Phibbsville? I'd like to send you a postcard. Renee is here. She says, I was gluing in one of my everything books. Angie says, I come to watch too, Mary. Aw. Jude is working in her fabric journal. Okay, Jude, thank you. Boy, it is warm in here tonight. Let's go ahead and stamp on this one. Let's see. It would go this way, so it would go here. And I'll have to come back and do the writing on it. Let's see, let's do it this way. But I have, let's see, let's let that set for a minute. Over on my desk over here, I have, let me find them. I have 3 of them ready to go. See, I paint on the back of them because they get terribly dirty on the back. So I painted it out. And this one goes to Kimberly. It's a bird. It was really one of those bird ornaments. That one goes to Kimberly. This one goes to Crystal. She keeps asking for it. And she hasn't asked for it for a long time. I'm going to have to message her and ask her for her address. I said I'd send it, and I never got it sent. I was so afraid of the mail. And this one goes to Arlene. And I was going to send this owl one out. I was going to send out the next 4. I sent out 4. I sent Becky's and Janet's and Mina's. And Mina didn't get hers, and that scared me enough not to send these others. I had them ready to go. But Janet and Mary too received, and Becky received theirs fine. Let's see, let's set that over there. I'm going to have to do work on that. Oh, I learned a new word today. An art word. Well, actually, it's more fabric. Those of you who sew and do a lot of fabric work will probably be familiar with this word. Becky probably would be. It's passementerie. And what it is, it's a French word, and for things like braids and tassels and trims. And, you know, like the braiding, they were talking about like the braids on the British uniforms and on uniforms. And of course they show braiding on pillows and tassels, big old curtain tassels. And I don't think that I showed, oh look, this one didn't get, I'm gonna have to kind of color this one in a little. I'm going to have to kind of color him in a little. I am going on the back of paint. Let's just mark him in a little so that he doesn't look so bad. Yeah, he's pretty good. I just got a couple left. Get a lot of ink on this stamp. I don't think I pressed as hard on the sides as I needed to. See if I can't do better on this one. You got to press here on the sides when you carve clear out to the side, or you're not going to get it a good impression. Cheryl's waving to Jude over the oceans. Julie says, I'm trying to get some small pieces of coffee-dyed paper to look ancient with glimmer added. Ooh, that sounds pretty, Julie. Crafty says, Jude says, Mary, I did some flax linen thread I did last year. She's sending some to Janet Nash. Oh, That would be nice, Jude, but don't feel obligated to. Jude is a very generous person. Send it to Janet for sure, because she does beautiful slow stitching. And I got a Hobby Lobby haul from last week, and that turned out pretty good. I don't think I showed it to you guys. I bought this tassel, and when I was reading about that passementery, you could look it up. It's P-A-S-S, I think it's E-M-E-N-T-R-I-E, something like that. If you put that in there, you'll find it, even if you misspell it. But here's the thing, all the YouTube videos were in French. A lot of foreign YouTube videos, I didn't find very many. I found one that was English speaking that I could actually understand. But all the others were like in French, and I think there was a Greek one, and I don't think there were any English, British ones. And I was a little disappointed. But they were beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Oh, and then I got to watching Bernadette Banner. If you guys haven't found Bernadette Banner, she is so fun to listen to. She does a lot of sewing. She does a lot of Victorian costuming. She makes a lot of dresses. But I was watching a video where she went to a flea market, and she was talking about buying things and having respect for the things that you buy. When you go to, and she makes a list. When she goes to a flea market, she makes a list. Oh dear. And she tries to look for, I'm going to move these off my desk here. I don't make a list for things I want at the flea market, but she made a list. And this must have been an older video, because I think I watched it before, but it was fun to watch it again. And she ended up buying an old hem marker, which was like a yardstick hooked onto a base, and it had a slider going up and down, and had a piece of chalk where you could mark your hems when you're sewing, like on a long dress or whatever. And she bought some bottles. What else did she buy? I forgot the other thing that she bought. She bought a few things. Oh, she bought a chatelaine. And I have a chatelaine very similar to the one she bought up in Wisconsin. We braid out our hair like that. Let's see, Jude says, let's see. Angie says, I would love to have a stamp with my name carved out, because when I mail Keisha my things, I write my name. Yeah, but you know, here's the thing, Angie. I do not carve the alphabet very well, hand carved. I don't do good with the writing the stuff. I do good with it's very, very, with hand stamped stuff, it's pretty hard to carve out words. You can do it, but they're scratchy and crunchy, and they don't turn out very nice. Okay, now I'm ready to, and this won't take long, I'm ready to do the white fine liner work. Let me have a sip of pop. Angie, Renee says, office supply stamps will make custom stamps for you. Oh, that's good. And Angie saw that. She already thanked her. I might try that myself. Renee. That's a good suggestion. Go to an office supply store and have them make a custom stamp for you. All right, so what we're going to do is outline his head, his ear here, get it started. Yeah. Get it started here. I thought I had it started. Outline his head. It comes clear around that way. Put his nose in there. And his eyes. And his other ear here. And a little line coming that way. And then a line coming, I'll leave room, let's do the dots first, because I always have to squeeze those dots in there. Let's do them first. The dots come down the side of his body there, down this way. And then there's a line that comes down this way and curves around and comes this way and down this way. And then there's these little branches. Let's just draw them in there. A little branch this way, one coming up that way, and one coming that way. And the leaves, the little leaves. And then there's dots coming this way. And tinier branch in here with some tiny leaves. Yeah. And then just some lines coming this way. Now, I didn't put, I think I'll leave it just like that. Now, I colored his nose in on that other one. Let's do it. Let's make him a white nose here. There we go. There we go. First one is done. Now we'll put them aside to dry. And I'm gonna put them over on my desk because I need to have a flat space. All right, I gotta make room for 8 of them though. And I should have enough space here. Let me move my tape. All right. So we'll get these done tonight. And I can address them. Go around the head. Make a nose. And an eye. Put dots on him. And a line coming down and around. And a line coming like that. And dots coming this way. And I need a branch in here and some leaves. And one over here. And put a little leaf in there. And some lines. I'm going to call him done. So this isn't taking that long to do this. It's kind of repetitive work. I start out by doing the ears here and do this ear. And then I do the head shape. And this time I'm going to pull the head clear around. Sometimes I haven't been pulling that head clear around. We're just going to do it like that. Give him an eye. And an eye. Ooh, his eye is kind of big there. Let's make this one a little bigger. There. Do the dots coming down. They don't have to be perfect. We're not going for perfection here. I got that kind of slanty in there, but all right, let's do a line coming this way and a line down there and dots coming down this way. And a branch with some leaves. And a smaller branch. A couple little leaves. And some lines. I'm going to take this wax paper off. Now, it bothers me. My hand can't glide like I want it to. The ears and the head. Head doesn't really go. That line there doesn't work for me for some reason or another. And the nose is kind of scratchy nose. He's got a big beak. Let's make him some bigger eyes. Oops, I might have to fill that eye in a little more. I might have to go back and put some black in there. After it dries. And a line coming this way and this way. And let's put the dots over here and some tree branches and some leaves. Put a leaf in here. And a smaller tree branch over here. And some little leaves. And some lines. I'm going to have to go back in and fill in that eye a little. Got a little white in there. Now, all right. I have to make room on my desk for 4 more. We're half done. All righty. The ears. The head. Now I'm going to leave that. Let's put a dot up there. And the dots. And the nose. And the eyes. Oops. Yeah, that owl looks sleepy. He says, "Hoot, sleepy." I don't like that. Let's see if I can't round that out a little. He still looks sleepy. I'll have to put more black in some of these. Let's do a branch. Some leaves. A smaller branch. Yeah. I'm not sure I like that. I guess it's okay. And then put some white lines down here. Three more. The ears. The head. The dots. The nose. The eyes. He looks a little sleepy too. I must be getting tired. 2 more. 2 more and we will be done. All right. The ears. The head. Let's put the nose in here. The eyes. Ooh, that's a big eye. Let's make this one a little bigger. There. Gonna leave it. The dots. The line for the tummy. The other wing. The little tree branches in here. Some leaves. A small, oh, let's put the dots in here. A smaller tree branch and some little leaves and some lines. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we will be done with these postcards. And I'll let them dry. And I'll get caught up with my addressing. And then I'll figure out who these are all going to go to. And make a record. Tummy here. Let's do the nose. And an eye. And another eye. And the tree. And some leaves. And a smaller tree. And some little leaves. And the lines. There we go. All done. Where's my cap to my fine liner? Let's put that away. Get in there. Doesn't want to go in. Alrighty. So let's just put them all out here on the sheet so you guys can see them. One. I'm going to have to fix some of the eyes on some of these. Look a little sleepy. Might have to zoom out a little so you can see them better. But let me get them out first. I might make this as my thumbnail once I get them arranged. I'll zoom out here in a minute. All right, let's zoom out so you can see them better. There they be. There they be. Is Angie causing trouble? Hi, Candy. Thank you, Jude. So I'll hold my camera here for a minute. Thank you, Mina. They're fun to do. They are fun to do. Let's move them down a little now. Let's get this stuff off. This will go in my, all these tests will go in my journal as being tests. And let's look at my journal next and see how that, I'm going to move these now back over so that they'll, on my desk so that they'll dry. I'll let them air dry. Let's see how that gold leaf that I put in my journal dried. And it's still early. Well, it's not that early. I got a few minutes left. I think I'll work on my dolls. I'd like to get those done so I can send them out too. Wow, it's warm. Man, I can't believe how warm it is. And oops. Was that pattern on there when I took the picture? Was that pattern on there? No. I've got to do this again. Just because I want it for a thumbnail. I think that pattern was there. All right, have patience with me. I'm going to put these back so I can get a good picture for my thumbnail. Have patience. We've got, what, 50 minutes left for this stream? I think that pattern was there. I don't know if it was or not. It was there when I picked them up. I want to get a good picture of these for my thumbnail. Sometimes I don't notice stuff like that. And then when I go to take a picture of it, it's all messed up. All right, let me see how this looks. Pretty good. Let me pull this down a little. Welcome to everybody who's come in and who's been in, and it's funny how you notice the slightest things when you go to, just like that. Go to take a picture of it and it's all lopsided. All right, leave it alone, Mary. Well, no, right there. All right. No, right here. The pattern fell when you moved the papers. Oh, thank you, Deb. Hi, Deb. How are you doing? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take them off now. And I can move on to something else. I think I'll work on my dolls because I would like to get them done. And they're all dry except for the white paint needs to dry on these postcards. Okay. So, let's see what I have here. I think, let's check it's still wet. But let's see how it's drying. This. It's still wet. You can see where it didn't get glue. But it's glued down. It's glued down good. I can't pull it up. Well, I probably could here, but I won't. But you can see in here where the air bubbles are. But I'm just going to use those for texture. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if I'll do more of that. But it's interesting. So I'll have to think of ways that I can use. Let's get it here. Of course, I pulled the wrong one. See, this is a ribbon that I got at Walmart, at Dollar Tree. And it's like a tulle. Now, I guess I could staple it in my journal or use double-sided tape. It's still wet here. But using wet glue obviously is not the answer. I don't know if I've got another black page in here. But I'm just going to let this dry more. Just set it back down here. I will let it dry. I'll let it air dry overnight. Okay. Dolls. I think... Did I put my dolls in here? No, those are Crayolas. Some of my dolls are in a box out in, I think they're out in the living room. But I have, let me throw these wax papers away. I have my tray of things here. Let's see what I have. And I'll probably have to zoom in again as I get to working on these. I think I have 2.5 left to do. Let's just pull everything out on the tray. Well, I guess not on the tray. See here, I'm working on this doll. I got trims. Trim, trim, trim. This one's done, but I need to put a hanger on him. And I think Rhonda said make a beret for him. Oh, what was I going to do with this? Maybe that was just a... I think I'm pretty happy with him. I put this... I had this brass piece here. It was a brass... And I didn't know what I was ever going to do with it. And it just makes a wonderful belt for him. Let me zoom in. I think my finished dolls are in a box out in the living room. Before I send them, I'll show them all in a video. Let me straighten my camera out a little here. And it wants to tip. There. And bring this over a little. This is more the center anyway, there. And this, of course, is Tim Holtz fabric. These are printed on here. The Tim Holtz cigar fabric. That's where the faces come from. But I noticed on this one, see this white mark on her face? That is part of the print. And I think there's supposed to be a lace collar that comes over her face. And that black mark, I think, is part of the print, too. It's just part of the... This one is all done. This is Watson, I think. It's got Watts. Well, I think this is Watson. And we need to put a This is all done. It's, well, this doesn't belong on it. This is caught on this. There. Whoops, it's cut down there too. This is all done, except I need to put a hanger on him. So I can do that tonight. This one is all done. But see, she's got that little mark under her chin, and she's got that white mark. And that's part of the fabric print. And I think there was supposed to be a lacy collar coming up over her face, which was a part of this right here. This one's all done. The one I did for Becky, I think, is out in the living room because it's all finished. And this one, I glued this. That was the last thing. I was letting this dry. I glued it on there with glossy accent. So this one's all done. This one just needs a... it just needs a hanger. So there's 1, 2, these I'm working on, 3, 4, 5, and I think I got 2 out in the living room that are done. Let me put these in here before I lose them all. Let's get these out. All my trims up here. So I would like to get these done and sent off. All right, and then we'll put the tray up there. I need to work on this one and this one. These are 2 in progress. I should have 7 of them. These 2 need, this one's done. This one needs a hanger. This one needs a hanger. He needs a beret or a hat or something too. And this one's done. So there's 5 here and 2 out in the living room. So let's start by putting a hanger on him. And I was thinking even a black, this is part of a silk tie. This would make a nice hanger on him. So let's do that. Let's cut it right here. And I'm not going to use these fabric scissors. I don't want to spoil them. One of my other scissors. I'm losing my scissors. Now what I do with them. All right. And we'll save that for scrap. And this, of course, is raggedy on one side, but I don't care. It's going to be like that. These dolls are supposed to be made out of scraps, fabric. They're, well, I think they're supposed to be made out of scraps. They're called Dodie dolls or Dottie dolls, but really you're supposed to be using up things in your work basket. I think that'll go good there. And I dipped it on all the dolls. Their hands are dipped in gold paint, which I think is a neat touch. Now I could put a button on there. Do I have a black button? Or yeah, I do, right here. It's already got a thread in it, or a. It's hard to see. Did I get it out? I think I did. It might be a wire. I think it's a wire. Looks almost like a staple. Let's throw that away. So we're going to sew this on, and then we're going to put the button on it. And I'm just going to let the raggedy ends show. I don't mind. I kind of want it to be in the center of the... Let's thread my needle. And I'm going to use... I find that on these dolls, yes, the curved needles work the best because you can... like that. And I actually have a smaller one, don't I? Penelope, where's my small one? What'd you do with it? Penelope lost the scissors that went in here. I haven't found them yet. I didn't lose them, Mary. You did. Well, I guess this is the smallest one. I thought I had a smaller curved needle. I can't see it. She's hiding it from me. Did you lose that too? Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, that's, well, that's about the same size, I have to say. I have a smaller one than that. We'll use that one. I don't want to hunt all night for it. Is it in here? I don't see it. Okay, okay. We'll use this. We'll use the purple thread because it's the darkest I have right here. And excuse me. Where's the beginning of it? Here. Okay. Let's pull out some thread. And I like to double my thread, so I pull a pretty long piece. And I thread the open ends go through the needle. I double it, and 2 open ends. Where's the other open end? Here and there. Oh, and of course, it's stuck on this rose. It helps to get things out of the way, except what you're working on. And thread the ends. Get them as even as you can. I dropped it. Little picky work. Where did it go? The ends together like that. There we go. Thread your needle. There. You want enough thread on here so where it doesn't come unthreaded. Now, I am going to let but I do think I'll cut this part here off. But I am going to let the raggedy ends show. So I'm just going to fold it like this. And I want it centered as much as I can. And I'm going to try to pin this until I get my first stitches in there. Now, like that. Now, because I have that loop down at the bottom of my thread, that's going to help me make an easy knot to begin with. So I'm just going to come in. I have a smaller curved needle here someplace. This one isn't very sharp, I don't think. I'm having trouble putting it through the... There it went. Well, I had to pull it out. There we go. And I don't know if this one will go through the buttonhole. I might have to go through a smaller needle when I do the button. Pull it through. Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through. Till you find that loop, which is holding on. And the loop is right here. And I'm going to go through there. I could go in a little closer, but I don't want to go in too close because then you can't see what's around. Let's go in just a little bit more. Mary hasn't put me to sleep, but I've ate a lot. Cheryl says, I'm going to ask Hee-Haw why do the curved needles? Well, these curved needles, I don't know what Hee-Haw will say, but these curved needles are really bookbinding needles. And when you do bookbinding, and I find that when I'm doing work like this on my dolls, this needle's not sharp enough. Let's get it out. It's not sharp enough. This one is more for an open weave. It's not going through my fabric too good. Let's go to a different needle. Let's try this one. I don't know if it's any sharper. Might be. Let's try it. Might be the thickness of that tie. I've got to rethread the needle. I don't know if this one is any sharper, but when you're doing work on dimensional objects, the curved needles really help because you can put it in, you can go in and out in one stitch. Like here, I go in and out. And you can do that with a flat needle too, but it's just a lot easier with the curved needle, you know, and it goes in and under pretty easy. Now I think I can actually take this pin out, give it back to Penelope. And I'm not sure how much more I zoomed in. My threads here. I'm going to take them off of this needle because I want to use I don't think this needle will go through that button. I want to sew that button on. So let's look for a needle to sew the button on. I lose my needles in her body. Penelope, what do? You eat all my needles. She eats them all. I want a plain sewing needle. Yeah. That one's too big. Well, let's see what I have in my drawer here. I buy needles now when I go to Walmart because I'm continually losing them. Let's see what I have here. I have one that has a fairly big eye for those threads. I'll try one of these. We'll try this one. But I need it to go through that button. Let's see if it'll go through the button. It should. That's a pretty big eye from, okay. And I find this thread is not a cotton thread. I don't know what kind of thread it is because I think it's a polyester thread. And I find that it falls off the needle really fast. A cotton thread will not fall off your needle as fast. I cut that off better. A cotton thread will stay on your needle. Polyester and even nylon thread will slip off your needle a lot faster. They're slick. They are slick, slick, slick. Okay, let's sew the button on. This is the back of the button. Put him on there. And it has to go in and out. And what's that red thread there? Oh, that's part of the tie. And in again. Now, I could have sewed that button on before I put it on the, probably would have been easier before I put it on the doll. And look, see how it floated over? It floats to one side. I'm going to have to move that over here and tack it down there if I want it to be centered. I had it pinned, but evidently it slipped. So let me put this right here in front of his face. I had it pinned. I gave Penelope back the pin. Let's pin it here. What did Candy say? Candy says, I'm going to bed. Good night, Candy. Have a good rest. Have a good sleep and have a good week next week. I'm going to pin this. I'm going to tack this down up here. So it'll hang from the center, hopefully. Let's see. It should now. Yeah, well. I could move it just a little bit more. Hold it with my hand here. Drop the needle. And you don't have to worry too much when you do these dolls about, and even in slow stitching. Some slow stitching is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful work. But when you do this, you don't have to worry that your stitching is gorgeous. You know, these are really kind of scrap dolls. Well, mine are, but most of them are. They're not meant to be professional doll maker dolls. There, I guess that hangs pretty even. Now, how is that button? That button's hooked onto this, so it should be on there secure. Let's do a few more stitches here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Get in there. Come on. Make a knot here. And then I put my needle down through the doll and come, like I can come clear out down here at the base of the head. Push it through. Pull it out. Come on. And that thread goes through the body of the doll. You can take your needle off and kind of push down on the fabric a little, and that thread will hide itself in the body of the doll. And there he is. He's done, I think. He's got two charms. He's got this kind of a, I'm not sure what kind of a charm to call that. It's kind of a Renaissance-y thing. Oh, it came off. Well, we'll put that back on. Maybe he wasn't meant to be a part of that. Maybe I just had it laying on it. I don't see where I stitched it in there. Let's put this on, and he's got this doll charm here. This one's stitched on. He's got a red belt hanging here. He's got a charm hanging off of his belt. He's got an anchor on his chest. He's got a black tie scarf here. Where's the other end of it? The other end's over here. He's got a part of that scarf is coming this way. This one goes over to the back. Let's pull that tighter. There. And let's put this charm on. I don't think I had it stitched on. I think it was just sitting on it. What am I going to put that on with? Let's, let's see what I have here. Oh. All I have there is, well, I wanted a stronger thread than I was using. Let's see what I have. What's this? It's not enough of it. What I have in here. Phooey. Excuse me. Phooey. That's the thing about putting stuff away. I don't think I have my threads out here. I put everything away. Let's turn my chair and see if I can get at something real fast. Well, I have some embroidery thread in here. Let me just pull this. Hold it. I have this darker maroon thread. That'll be better than... Yeah, I'm going to use that. What time is it? 10:43. Let's do this. And I'm going to use all 6 strands. So let's pull out some. And let's give this needle back to this pin back to Penelope. And let's just clip it there. And I need a needle. I need one that will go through that hook. All those needles should go through there. I gave that needle back to Penelope and she started eating it again. Where did I put it? Penelope, you eat my needles. I just gave it to you. Where did it go? Honestly. Let's use this one. All right, this has a bigger eye anyway. I'm not sure all those strands would have fit through that other needle's eye. But will this fit through here? It should. Okay. So we're going to put that right in here. Let's take a couple of stitches here. We'll let that fall in. There, now let's put this on. I don't think I had this stitched on. I think it was just sitting there. This eyelash yarn is really interesting stuff. It wants to get in the way of everything. I stitched that on there. Get it out of there. And then this red piece is caught on there. I don't want it in there. There. Okay, let's go back to my charm. Get that out of the way. Okay. I don't care if the eyelash gets caught in there, but there. Takes a little maneuvering. Go back in under that black thread and through the loop. Make a knot. There we go. Let's do that again. That's pretty good. All right, let's do one more knot and then I'll let it hang. And I'll just put it through and come clear down through the tassel and out the bottom. And we'll snip it and call it done. Well, we finished him. I still have these two little ones to work on, but it's almost 10 o'clock. And I did want to quit at 10 o'clock. Now this one needs a hanger too. I think I'm going to make a cap for him. And I'm not sure exactly how. Rhonda said cut a circle, but I might have to cut 2 circles. I'm not exactly sure how to make a cap for him. Let's see. A beret. I'm thinking like a Sherlock Holmes beret. Let's get my punches out. Let's move my cutting board because my paint shelf is not going to twirl with the cutting board there. And let's get a punch. Let's try this one. And we need a piece of scrap paper. I had scrap paper out here. We'll try this black piece. I don't know if this will punch it though. But even if it makes a... That's not going to punch it. I need something thinner. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. What do I have here? I have all sorts of scrap paper. What do you mean I don't have scrap paper? I have a whole bag of it. Here. I have black. I have black, but it's not thick enough. Here. All right, this is just cardstock. It should punch this. All right. So it needs a visor. Now think of it being fabric. This is not bending. Maybe a smaller one on top. Let's play. Let's play just a little. Let me get a piece of fabric. Oh, I'll probably drop everything on my desk if I pull this out. Be prepared for a craft-a-lanch. Honestly. Let's see what I can use here. I just want scrap. Let's try this floral. We'll give him a floral cap. Maybe the darker part of it. That might be the wrong thing to use. What do I have? I have this. All right. All right, I'm just going to hold on to this and cut around it. This circle, it won't be perfect. Good night, Cheryl. Sweet dreams. I'm just going to see if I can't make a cap. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. That looks like a beanie there. Where'd my man go? It needs a visor. And he needs a smaller circle on the top. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing. Something like that, only that comes down a little over this. So let's take some. I wish I'd find my little needle. Penelope, you ate my needle already. Is that it? She's coughing it up. Is that it? That's one that's been threaded. I don't think that's the one I was using tonight. It's too big. It's not going to work. I have to think about how to make the cap. I'm not going to fool with this anymore. But what he's going to have on here is not a beret cap, something like Sherlock Holmes. And it's going to have a visor, a black visor. Maybe if I use that at the base. No. I've got to think about it. But anyway, we did get this one finished. So I accomplished something. And I have two out in the other room that are done. This one's done. So I have 4 done ones. And this one's all done except for the hat and the hanger. So that's 5, and 6 and 7 are still in progress. So, she said, so I am getting ready to sign off myself because I don't want to be on all night tonight. I already have my cart that I had all straightened up as a mess over there. good night, Cheryl. Angie says, okay, I'm going to sleep. Good night. Jude says, good night, Cheryl. He is cute. I haven't figured out how to do that cap yet. I'm going to have to study the caps a little bit more. Let's see. Cheryl had to reboot. Angie says, Mary played with the doll and broke him. Mary stopped playing with the doll. Video on curved needles, Cheryl said, if anybody is interested. So Cheryl found a video on curved needles. Thank you, Cheryl. I know you're in bed, but thank you anyway. Okay. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Have a great week next week. Don't forget, Dee Dee comes on tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. and Janet Nash comes on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And Dee Dee's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Janet Young comes on an hour or so after Dee Dee, between 12 and 1 Central. I don't know when she, Eastern. I don't know when she comes on Eastern. And Lisa, My Eclectic Life, comes on at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, Central. And I will be back Tuesday morning, but I don't know how long I'm going to stream. It depends on when we have to get out of here. So have a great week, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday night. Bye.